Welcome to D20 Deathmatch!
Yeah! Welcome, acolytes, to the arena once again! We find ourselves wandering the hallways of the Dread Fortress, the Grandmaster trying to figure out how to put her crown on. She didn't bring enough bobby pins and then keeps stabbing her head, so she's putting it down for today. In that effort, she's also wandering around trying to find the Arbiter. Arbiter, where are you?
Shh. Be quiet, she's coming.
Hello?
No.
I know you're over here.
Listen, she's gonna make us do work if you... No, shut up, Thea. Shut up.
I'm giving you to the count of 3, or I'm gonna throw out your extra Italian shoes.
Oh, we're in here.
There it is. And she'll open the door and see you hiding behind a large screen. What are you doing, Arbiter?
The Arbiter is sitting in a large chair, recliner of sorts, with a giant bucket of popcorn. It's not really a bucket of popcorn. It's actually just Thea, which he has, just put the popcorn in a divot that he's knocked into her head. And so he's eating popcorn off the top of her head. We're watching Dune 2.
What? How did you even get that? That's still in movie theaters.
Master of time and space. I just popped a little forward into the future, snagged a copy.
You stole it.
Steal? I mean, didn't belong to any. Movies can't belong to people.
Don't give me this, and she'll actually kick over the TV, letting it crash at your feet.
Aww.
This is trash. You know what we really need? We need to be focused on protecting the Dread Fortress, protecting the Void. Did you pull together the champions I asked you to?
He's gonna look over at Thea. Thea, did you put together the champions that I asked you to?
No.
No.
What do you mean, no? You know this is important. We can't just have regular death matches. We need to strengthen. We need to find core. We need to find our true teams that can be out there to protect us. We need to find 3 great champions. Come on. Somebody, surely. Oh, master of space and time.
Fine. This really isn't my fault. I did delegate the task, which is what a great leader does. It's not my fault that I've created an idiot here.
I don't have brain cells.
That's true.
Thea will look at
that's
you.
Factual. So
that's why it was easy to make the divot in my head empty.
Great popcorn bucket. Not a great thinker.
No.
What? Okay. I can solve this. Hold on. And he's going to snap his fingers, and a portal is going to rip open through time and space, and out of the portal walk our 3 champions: Atlas, Copycat, Robbie Clark, and the Hunger!
Look how cool they are! And Thea, in her tiny pink impish form, flies around the 3 of you, in and out doing circles. Look how cool! I feel like I've seen them before in some sort of dream, or maybe a nightmare. And she'll start picking at Robbie and the Hunger's little tentacles. Tell me who you are!
Hi there! I'm Robbie Clark, and this is my best friend / symbiotic unit, of which we are the same thing, the Hunger. Hi.
And Thea will stand down before and wave very timidly towards the Hunger. Are you guys best friends?
Yes, we are not only best friends, but we have decided to combine consciousnesses so that we could both continue to exist but have experiences that we never had before. So now I get to be an eldritch horror, and I get to be an 8-year-old child.
She'll flip around over to the Arbiter. Can I be an 8-year-old child too?
I don't think you have the brain capacity to be an 8-year-old child.
Oh, then can I be the eldritch horror?
Yeah, you know what? I think that'll work.
Yes! Score! Okay, enough of this. The Grandmaster will interrupt. We're through with this. Copycat. Is there a reason we can't see your face? Please, step forward.
Is there a reason why you can't lick your own elbow? Yes, I know about that.
Way to call me out on that. That's a very difficult skill, okay? Is it just like an unknown? Are we not allowed to know? I'm intrigued.
What is the universe but a tiny marble?
Are you gonna be like this the whole time, or?
No.
Oh, okay, good.
Because I won't be me the whole time.
Oh, I get it. Copycat, you're not you. Okay, I see.
Who were you just
Mystery.
being, Carl Sagan?
Watch it.
I like that. The spice speaks with the eyes. Very good. And then the Grandmaster will walk over quite casually to our large mechanical friend. And let me guess, you're what, Brawn?
Incorrect. This unit's designation is Atlas. Atlas does not possess memories. Fragments of memory, perhaps. Familiarities acknowledged. Protector. Unit designation not found. With no one to protect, what is Atlas? Atlas wanders on marbles, according to Cat.
This is true. Here, let me give you this. You can protect this marble. And she'll actually open up a small portal, very tiny, but just enough that you could get a look through. See that as you go through. There's a tiny purple marble and all of that. Do you see Atlas?
Atlas will sort of lean in, his like facial plate kind of like scanned by this bright light that sort of floats between the two eye slits in his face mask, and he peers deeply into the image. Yes, Atlas perceives the marble.
Good. That is the void. That is where we are right now. That is the home of not only myself and this Arbiter here, but also all of our acolytes. And it is in danger, Atlas. Have you heard of the Shadow King before?
Negative.
Really? She looks over at the other two, Robbie the Hunger and Copycat. Have the two of you heard of the Shadow King?
I don't stay up and watch the scary shows.
Oh, Copycat, sorry. Stuart! Stuart! Her mic's muted!
Oh, fucking Stuart.
Anyways, Stuart, I know where you live.
It's just down in the basement. It's nice, though. It's nice.
In the
It
IT
actually is
department.
really nice down
On
there.
its feet. Yeah, yes.
It's actually
what
really
were you
nice
saying,
down there.
though? Do you know who
oh,
the Shadow King is?
Yes, I do know who the Shadow King is. In fact, I've been doing a lot of research on him.
Perfect. Someone came prepared. She looks at the other two. This is important. He threatens this entire little purple marble, and she grabs Atlas's head and kind of pushes you a little bit closer to it. See that marble? That the Shadow King threatens to engulf with his own power, destroying all within it. He's in pieces now, but I must build an army. I must build something that withstands all of his might. And so I've brought the three of you. Well, Arbiter, you've brought the three of them. Tell them of this mission that we have for them, a suicide mission of sorts, to prove that maybe they're worthy.
Very well. Grandmaster Champions, as the Grandmaster has alluded to, the Shadow King is still at large, despite our best efforts to kill him, right? I did pretty good, but doesn't matter. In any case, he could come back at any time.
Right, because
So
he's
we
not
need-
dead because you didn't kill him.
Things happen, okay? Listen, did I or did I not save you?
Temporarily save me. Get on with the message. It's not
Very well.
little details like that
Very
about
well.
how you failed.
Champions, we are going to need you to be at your best to face the Shadow King. No longer can we throw away your lives in the arena week after week after week for no point. If we're going to kill you, we need to do it to make sure we find the very best, the cream of the crop, as it were. So tonight, we're going to see who amongst you is fit to be the leader of this little band of what do you call yourselves? Are you you guys have a name? You guys,
Maybe the super friends, or the best friends, or the coolest kids in town, or something like the Silver Jacksons, or the Alabaster Sunshines. But I think something like that probably.
very well, very well. We're gonna see who's the best out of these.
I would no. No, sorry. I would prefer to be called redacted.
Ooh, ominous.
Mm-hmm.
Atlas suggests we be known as unbreakable. If we are to stand against the Shadow King, it be best all know that nothing will break our lines.
I like this. I like all three, actually. So here's what we're gonna do. First, you're gonna go on the mission. Whoever survives, you get to make it to the death match. Out of the death match, of those who are surviving, remember, you will get to decide who the leader is. The leader will decide the name of your troop. So we might have the Silver Jacksons, we might have the Redacted, and we might also have Unbreakable. But you have to prove yourself to earn that name and lead this group. For now, you're Team A. We'll see how you hold up.
Team A has kind of a certain ring to it, a certain amount of dignity. I like it. You guys look like a bunch of A's. So that's, I think that's, yeah. I can
Does
pitch.
A stand for asshole?
It does. It does. You got that. That's good.
Atlas does not possess
Yes,
the
well,
hole of ass.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
would you
don't have
like
any
one?
orifices.
I can give you one. I don't have a lot
well,
of powers, but I can
You
make
look like a
well.
bee.
Yeah, you look
Big
like a bee.
Are you talking to me?
Yes, I'm talking to
I look
you.
like a bee? What is that?
Yes. Not the insect.
You're trying to, like a baguette?
No, you look like a bucket.
A bucket? I don't look like a bucket. She looks like a bucket. Look at the dent in her head.
This is a bag, not a bucket, clearly.
Obviously.
My mother was a bucket.
Oh, really?
It's a deep lore.
Who's your father?
He was an engineer.
So many
I did not know
questions.
what mother saw in him because mother did not have eyes.
Did he give her eyes?
No, and also failed to give me a mouth.
Well, I'm sure she,
Hence the
or
lack
no
of
one,
asshole.
I'm sure no one pales in comparison to your mother.
Thea just rolls on the floor, laughing, clutching her sides, as that really does a trick on her.
Okay, all right, enough of this. Champions, like, as I was mentioning, we need you to be at the top of your game, so we're going to test you tonight. And it just so happens that we've experienced a little bit of trouble across the void, deep in the ether drifts at the edge of Voidspace. We've lost contact with a group of we'll call them miners, I guess. They were doing a very important job for us. They were getting some very important resources that are integral to the fight against the Shadow King, a certain mineral. So I need you to go find out what happened, and if you can, get that mineral for me. That's about the gist of it. We're just gonna, if you survive, then we can talk about the death match. But
So a detective is what you need.
yeah, you got a detective inside that bag somewhere.
A copycat will twirl like a magical girl, and little sparkles and stars start like beaming off of her like little glitter, and she has a detective outfit with a fedora, trench coat, and a matching pipe.
That was really cool.
Well then,
Thank you.
it looks like you're ready to go then. So let me just he's gonna crack his
We're
knuckles.
On the contrary, dear Watson, we will need some more information.
Oh, what do you want to know?
I will need She flips open a book. A point of contact for when we discover any clues.
Oh, that could be me. I have contacts.
Yeah, sure.
In your eyeballs, or?
I got at least 5 eyeballs. 2 that
Oh,
I'm currently using.
I was thinking more of like an email address.
No, I have an email address.
Okay, what's
I'm
your
not
email
allowed
address?
to have contacts or an email address.
Do you want a cell phone?
What?
Sure, yes.
Yeah,
Give me a
well-
cell phone number. I'll have a cell phone number. I'll have an email.
Thea will give you all walkie-talkies in which she has been
Ooh.
informed that they are cell phones. So to her, that is a cell phone.
Oh, excellent. Yes. Do you have the password to your email so I can send you the files or clues when we find them?
Yes, it's Thea is the best, and there's like 20 exclamation points ish.
Or 20-ish. Okay. Thank you.
I don't know.
Close
Stuart
the
always
book.
has to reset it for me, and he hates me for it.
Is that all you wanted to know? Was her email password?
For now, yes.
Very well. Then let us continue. As the Arbiter stands up and smacks his hands together, ripping a portal in time and space once again, transporting you to a asteroid belt in the shadow of a large purple gaseous planet, floating on these large orange asteroids. You are now in the ether drifts in Voidspace. This is an area at the edge of all of Voidspace, home to a wreckage of worlds and locations and asteroids that float around aimlessly. And you are at the edge of a mine here in this region. But before anything happens, I need you all to roll me a DC 15 metal save as meteorites start crashing around at your feet. Up above you, the acolytes now in a giant grandstand watching this trial unfold before their own eyes. What do we get?
Would that be a defense?
Yeah, but defense, yeah. Ooh. Everyone succeeds. 18, 20, 15 with the successes. These meteors come crashing in. You're able to dodge. Atlas, how do you defend against these meteors?
Atlas does not. As these meteors strike Atlas left, right, and center, Atlas's armor just sort of acts like a bulwark, and you just watch as these rocks sort of strike his face and just sort of shatter as the density of these meteors aren't equal to the density of the armor that surrounds his body. The only exception being this one asteroid that is just like littered with these like thick iron ore veins. You see Atlas's eyes sort of glow as he sort of scans that particular one, and as it comes in close, Atlas sort of reaches out with one hand. The meteor strikes it, and with no hip joint, sort of bone structure, he kind of rotates it and sort of moves it around to one side, so it crashes onto the ground next to him, as opposed to directly into him.
Dang.
Robbie Clark, what does it look like as you dodge these meteors?
I look up at the hunger. We give each other a little high five, and then I take out my finger guns, and the hunger's tentacle mouths start sucking up bits of meteor, and then I go, and it shoots them out at other ones, and I'm just shooting meteors as the tentacles are. And then I look over at Atlas and at Copycat, and I go, "Super friends, good job so far."
Copycat, what are you doing in this moment?
Well, I'm going to have to take a note from Atlas's book, and I twirl again in like that magical girl fashion, and I whip out my arms look exactly like Atlas's, and I try to mimic exactly as he does.
All right, yeah, you shift yourself into a mechanical monstrosity, I guess, with robot arms as they change shape and form. Okay, you are all now on the surface of this asteroid, looking for the mine shaft entrance. What are you doing?
Can I just take a quick moment and say, like, when the hunger and all that give us the high five, that, you know, the two Atlas arms both come up simultaneously, like these two big robot thumbs ups. And
Be a good team up.
it's gonna be a great team up. Looking around at the asteroid surface, Atlas is going to look towards his two companions and say, do any of you have the ability to scan large areas for entranceways?
I do.
Ooh.
Do it then.
It's a little trick I've been practicing on.
Show us.
I've had to. So she kind of like, rolls her shoulders and does like a couple stretches. All right. And she will then crouch down and she will do a downward dog position and go, okay, and then she will roll into a ball and she looks like a satellite dish.
As your body manipulates into this very obvious satellite dish, clearly able to pick up some reception, you do notice the latest episode of Taskmaster being beamed in. But beyond that, I need you to
my
give me
favorite show.
I need you to give me an instinct check. Let's see how we do. Roll, 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 roll. Ooh.
That one?
It would be D20 plus whatever your instinct is, plus 2.
Yeah.
So
D12.
12.
With
Right?
the 12, it is just enough. You begin scanning, letting out, if I may add flavor, little ping, 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 as that sound echoes across this planet. And at the top surface, you see nothing initially until suddenly that bing hits something and reverberates back to you. And in fact, as that bing happens and it comes back quicker and quicker and quicker each time as something appears to be approaching all of you.
Hi! Guess what? You're here on our planet again!
And you hear a small panicky voice coming down closer and closer. And while you ping, you see nothing at eye level until you look down at the ground.
It's invisible. Oh, never mind.
Bing, 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 bing,
You know,
bing, 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 bing.
Robbie, let's have you roll an instinct to see how well you spot this.
I am very instinctual.
Ooh!
You forget that I come with eons of knowledge beyond knowledge. I was born of dying stars and wailing souls.
What the
And
fuck?
as such, knowing the wailing souls that you do, you're actually quite attuned to hearing sounds at multiple levels and frequencies. In fact, hearing that tiny peep squeak voice, your eyes are correctly and directly associated down with this little sluggish worm-like creature of bright neon blue, inching across the surface closer towards the three of you.
Yeah, again? More? Is it the D20 Deathmatch? Have you all arrived to destroy our colony again?
Copycat is still beeping, but profusely. And since she is still a satellite dish, she doesn't have any arm attachment to her. She's literally just a satellite dish on the ground, and she's rolling like a ball while beeping.
Atlas will how big is this worm?
Oh, very tiny. Think maybe at length, maybe 2-3 inches max, but still quite rotund. It's a healthy little snack should you choose to ever grow a mouth and eat it.
Did you just use inches to describe to your Australian friend how big something was?
Mm-hmm.
And it's smaller than a koala. I don't know. How do I describe
Thank
it to
you.
Australia?
That's fine. No, wait, no. Koalas are a legitimate use, measure of.
That's a unit of measurement.
That's our measure
Okay.
of
Yeah,
koala.
that's it. We have a unit of measurement.
Knee high to a
Koalas is fine.
koala.
Yeah. All right. Atlas will open his very, very large hand, and Atlas actually doesn't have joints for his elbow or forearm, just these two kind of floating fists that are connected by these electric and almost like plasma arcs that connect to his shoulder. As the fist goes up into the sky and then over the top coming down at perfectly a vertical descent. He grabs the dirt around the worm. It then drills into the ground and cuts out almost like a perfect kind of circle around where the worm is, and then floats it like a floating platform in front of us.
Ooh.
Atlas then leans in close, and you watch as his eyes then sort of as he goes, "Designation, Atlas. Do you work for the Shadow King? If so, you will be destroyed imminently. If, however, this is incorrect, and you happen to be working indirectly for the Shadow King, you will be destroyed imminently. If you are not working for the Shadow King, then you will be spared, unless at a later date you intend to work for the Shadow King in an act of narrative betrayal."
I forgot the options. As the little worm.
1. Do you wish to leave by... Do you wish
Copycat
to
slowly
live...
goes beep, 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 beep.
No!
Oh,
I don't want to die.
I think she's done.
I don't want to die. We don't. None of us want to die. We choose the option of not dying. We don't even know where the Shadow King is. We're just out here. We just orbit the void. We're just here. We're in the
Where is the
hollow.
mine shaft? Where is the minerals?
It's next to our home called the Hollow.
Then that is where we are going. You will lead us there.
I will lead you there. Absolutely.
Here, don't feel
I'm gonna-
so bad. Have a lollipop.
And it takes this lollipop with magic because it doesn't have hands. I assume you just
Put it on the dirt. I'm just putting it on the dirt next
Dirt?
to it.
Yeah. So my intention is to use it like a compass as I'm just holding it in the air, and then as it like sort of points in a direction, it's just sort of floating.
You hear, before you step away, you hear Copycat let out this almost like a tornado siren to try and get your attention. And it's spinning around.
Oh,
Atlas, do you speak satellite?
that is racist. All machines do not speak the same language. But yes, I do still speak a little satellite, but that does not change anything. Be better. I'm going to go over to the satellite, and I'm going to try and translate.
She's trying to convey, pick me up, one of you.
With my remaining arm, I will, if you
My
don't
foot
mind.
is stuck behind my head. I can't seem
Okay.
to
Okay, as long as it's consensual, with his remaining hand, he inserts several ports into various places to get a firm grip, and Atlas now has a radio tower.
Atlas, make me a. Well, you know what? I'm gonna let you all roll together. Cat Atlas, roll me a metal check save to see if you can determine the direction you are supposed to go. I'm sorry, Atlas. Is that a natural?
It might be.
Atlas with a natural 1. As you lift up
Oh,
Cat.
that's supposed to be.
As you lift up Cat, you actually damage your shoulder socket a little bit. You're going to take 1 point of damage, and you are also going to gain a fatigue as you.
Oh yeah. I mean, it is a whole satellite, so fair.
Copycat with a I believe a 13.
Yes, 13.
Actually, I'm gonna give you an extra one because you're a saddle. I'm gonna give you another +1. So with a 14, you do know the way, although you can't convey it with your mouth. So I guess you'll just have to beep more frequently as you get closer, as you want to guide him in.
She starts acting like a metal detector as she is spinning around.
Robbie with a 19, you just see a sign that says mine shaft this way.
Yeah, but I'm a little distracted just because what? So, you guys are pretty cool. Like, are we best friends now? Like, where do you come from? What are you about? What do you want to do with your lives?
Oh, you really?
No, not you.
think-
You're
Oh.
sort of the mission. You're like the video game character that we talk to and we hit X a lot because we're not great at reading and we just want to try to kill the chicken and run away in Zelda. I was
Copycat
talking to
will
other
signal in Morse code using beeps, saying, "You mean an NPC?"
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that is what they're called. On Reddit, but I'm not supposed to go there.
I have a name! We all have names! My name's Teresa! And we used to have a great mayor named Timothy until you all killed him last time you came.
We've never been here before.
Who's the people from the void? They always come. They always have death matches here. And they always kill us or destroy our homes. We lost Timothy. And then we lost Tommy. And then we lost TT. And then we lost all of my
You
other
watch as
friends.
Atlas starts rotating this tiny worm and then floating it just out of earshot in the direction we need to go. As Atlas then sort of folds his knees forward, and you watch as like where his shin bones are, these tiny little tank treads sort of like separate out of his shins, and he just starts to and roll forward.
Oh, you're like what is it? The Voyager? Is that what's landed on the moon? No, that's not it. What one landed
Yeah, no,
on the
that's
moon?
the one from Mars. But
Mars.
yes, also the Mars
Yeah.
rover. I'm like the Mars rover. The Mars rover's not little; it's the size of an entire room.
Well, you know, compared to a planet.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
There's nothing else
Copycat,
there to compare.
Copycat in Morse code will ask Teresa, I'm so sorry for your siblings. Do they happen to have social media accounts or other accounts with passwords?
Yeah, they do have passwords. Typically is whatever their name is, and then is awesome, and then with like at least 20-ish exclamation points. It's kind of like a family trait.
Thank you for that valuable info.
Yeah.
I will make sure to redacted.
Don't redact me! And it starts.
Crying profusely. It's only a mouth and two eyes, but those tears are large and creates a small little river as you all follow down, creating, of course, for Atlas a slightly muddier terrain at this point.
As you all move forward across this terrain in not quite full gravity, bopping along, holding a satellite and a worm, and then a small other short horror and a child just kind of following along, I guess. You find your way towards the mine shaft. A large opening, looks like a crater, like many other craters in this world. But as you get to the edge of the crater and walk down, you see a pathway down to a clearly marked mine shaft that's been held up by different pieces of construction elements, metal and lumbers and things like that. But the door on it is sealed shut. There's several boards boarding it up. There's the door itself, which is made of some sort of heavy metal. You will now find yourself in front of this mine shaft, but the mine shaft is closed. What do you do?
Oh no, a boarded door. My only weakness.
I don't think that would be a weakness. I would never guess that would have been a weakness of yours.
Copycat will after we'll kind of like wiggle a little bit and then wiggle a little bit more. And then she will
I'll put the satellite down.
and then all of a sudden she rolls out and then back into downward dog position of yoga. It goes, oh, okay, I finally got my foot unstuck from behind my head. Oh, man. I need a little bit more practice on that one. Shall we go in?
Affirmative.
I think Atlas needs help with the door. Apparently, it's his only weakness.
Atlas just has slow turns. He disables his sarcasm chip, and you watch as Atlas like sort of takes his fist and like arcs backwards, but again he doesn't have like a forearm or a bicep, so his fist rockets backwards, and it just keeps going and going and going, and you watch as that electric arc that connects his fists to his shoulder just stretches outwards, and then it turns backwards, and there's this electric flaming plasma that just ejects from the back of his fist as it flies forward as he's going to try and destroy that door.
Yeah, roll me a bloodlust. Roll me an attack.
Actually, I want you to roll that at disadvantage because you said that this was your greatest weakness.
Oh no. Well, it's a 10.
10 is gonna hit still.
I love your RP. You set it up for it perfectly.
Oh, well, you know, I actually had something if I'd failed. I was just going to have the rocket fly all the way in, and then he just...
Are you sure that's the knocking choice you want to go with? I feel like there's a legacy here of like epic door knocking capabilities.
It. No. Me and doors do not get on. Anyway. I'm gonna blow the door down.
All right, you rocket fist into this door, and you put a solid dent in it. It reverberates. It takes some damage, but it is not broken yet.
Oh. Maybe I should use my good arm. I'm then gonna launch the other hand. However, I am going to leave. I'm gonna forget that there is a clump of dirt and a worm in it. As it rockets towards the door.
Oh. So you're rocketing as your fist rockets, that worm just pulling like 10 Gs.
Yeah, basically it's inside like this like protective bubble kind of thing around my fist. So I'm kind of like I'm protecting it with the fist, but it's almost like, you know, suffering the G forces of the rocket punch as I knock with my good arm.
Roll the hit.
At disadvantage?
Just do it straight up this time.
Okay. 17.
17's gonna hit. That door does crack and splinter and bust open. But I'm just gonna remind you how physics works. Despite the fact that worm is protected, it is gonna meet a very forceful stopping of momentum inside.
Oh, that is true. I liked Teresa. She was really cute.
She flies in, knocked unconscious, and in front of you, suddenly a whole variety of neon worms gather around their now very knocked out comrade.
How could you do this? Why did you want to break down the door? You couldn't just use the key.
As they all start crying around, as no one took a moment to see that the key would be right on the top of the door frame.
What a mysterious place to hide a key.
I can't
was
tell
clearly
if
a
it's
trap.
or not. Do you know how many people in the world and in other dimensions hide their keys in the most obvious of places? Under a planter, under the carpet, on top of the door frame, under a tire, on top of a tire.
That's right. We all hid our keys somewhere. That's where Teresa hid hers. Taylor.
As
They
they
even
point
make
to
little
another
tiny
like
plastic rocks.
neon purple worm.
Taylor hides their key under that big old coal rock that you threw. There's at least 80. Tails is out there, Tullius, Tates, Tandems. There's all our keys out there. You have any idea how expensive it is to build a door?
As there's just this overwhelming amount of mourning now.
Actually, I know how to remedy this. She kneels down. I'm going to give you the exact credit card number with PIN and full name to remedy the situation, and they will pay for all the damages, both physical and emotionally.
Thank you. These champions are different. We like them. They'll pay for everything.
Yes,
So
That's why they call us
so
the Super Friends.
so here you go. So the
We are
name
not
is
called the Super Friends.
Arbiter J. Wilkinsmith
Wilkinsmith.
the third.
The third.
Yes.
Oh, that's
And here-
perfect.
And here's their card number. Yes.
Okay,
And
yeah.
then here's their PIN.
Oh, thank you.
Mhm.
Ooh, platinum. That's a very nice credit card. Thank you, Super
Congratulations.
Friends.
I didn't know
Congratulations! The Arbiter has now subscribed to Atlas subscription services. Every month, you will have deductions based on your credit card account to unlock the pro features of the Atlas program.
I
The
didn't
ar-
know the
which now
Arbiter-
also include the following: as Atlas opens up his chest and pulls out what looks to be a tiny syringe with what looks to have like this little like fairy that's like kind of tiny little fairy, and they're wearing a shirt with 2 suns and a bottle of cola near it.
Nice.
And I'm gonna take this syringe and I'm gonna stick it in Teresa, and I'm gonna pump her full of double sun cola.
What is this?
As Teresa suddenly becomes very mixed and changes in all sorts of neon colors, evolving and getting a little bit blobous. You hear through the megaphone,
You guys should probably go. They don't like it. They'll get really bad if they get caffeine in their system.
There was a lot of caffeine in what I just gave her. Run!
All right.
As you all run into the mine, you just behind you, you just feel the ground start to rumble and shake, and you just hear as Teresa balloons up into a giant worm-like monster, now barreling down the entrance of this this mine shaft after you. Roll me a metal save to see how you try to escape from Teresa through this mine shaft.
oh,
It's a natural 20!
Robbie Clark and the hunger.
Robbie Clark, you are going to gain a fighting spirit with that nat 20. You're also going to get an adrenaline. How do you, with the nat 20, I'm also going to allow you to lead the party to safety. So how does Robbie lead this charge?
Well, we are many, all within this little confines, so we can sometimes split up tasks. And in this exact moment, there are 2 things that we must ponder. And one is the giant worm named Teresa, but there's a more important issue. So the hunger is going to sort of form a giant organic spear and just pierce Teresa right through the head and sort of pin it to the wall. And just keep that there as it sort of gets stretched as we keep walking. But more importantly, I did not know the Arbiter was a triplet. When did you learn that, copycat?
She pulls open her little book and starts writing down. I learned about it right now.
Because you said he was Arbiter J. Wilkinson III. So that means there's 2 more.
Incorrect.
Triple credit
What it
card.
would mean is that the Arbiter's father was also Arbiter, as well as his grandfather, making him the 3rd Arbiter in the line of Wilkinsons.
Oh.
That was the assumption. I didn't really
The
know.
more you know.
I didn't really know if he had siblings. I kind of, I usually don't ask questions. I usually just, I just took it.
Good to know. Okay,
Yes,
well, I
very
killed
good to know.
Teresa.
Yeah, we killed Teresa. So that's chill now.
Well, at
I
least
will
you waited so she could lead us to the mines.
And then she got to also experience the radical physical dysmorphation of her body expanding into a horrible other type of being, which can really expand your consciousness when you are facing the cosmic horrors of the void, which everything does after death.
Double Sun Cola is strong stuff.
It seems like it is.
And as you guys talk and walk, discovering all sorts of insights, you find yourself wandering through this pathway of the mines, taking lefts or rights here or there as you wander through. Go ahead and let's get an instinct check here from all of you, just to see how you're beginning to explore and what you might be able to pick up on.
Ooh.
Wow, Atlas with a 2.
Yeah. My scanners are broken. We went over this.
Yep. Copycat with a 19, though, solid. And then Robbie with an 11. Copycat. You hear these conversations they're having, but it's kind of just in the background. A little bit of Peanuts characters speaking of the parents, just wah, wah, wah. You are more aware of where you are. You notice few more skeletal bones dripping along the sides, right, falling from the ceiling. What would you like to do as you start to scan this space?
She will look around and then look to the ground and see if she can see any tracks, any new lifted dirt, anything fresh.
Ooh. You actually don't see set footprints, but you do see slither lines going through and around, clearly leading up and to the right instead of to the left in a forked pathway.
I see. And then she, scoops a little bit of the dirt and looks at it. And then she looks over to the wall and she puts her ear to the wall. And then she sees a skeleton laying there and she sniffs it.
Did she just lick that skeleton, Grandmaster?
I see. I know. That way. And she will point forward.
Are you pointing to the right or the left, just to clarify?
Pointing to the right.
Pointing to the right.
That way.
After you put on the performance of a century, very detailed, very detailed. You lead your party to the right. Immediately, as you take steps in that direction, the three of you start to feel a pulsing sensation. Kind of going through, starting from the ground. You feel it in your feet or tracks. Are you still on the track system, Atlas?
Yeah, I feel I'm too tall for the mines in general, so I'd be on my tracks for a while.
All right. For your feet and tracks, you begin to feel that pulse come through. That dirt that you had checked out earlier, Copycat, begins to rise and bounce with these pulses, almost as if this whole place has come to life, and it begins to seize up your muscles, up to your brain, where you feel it begin seizing within, adding mini migraines or pulses, EMs that just begin to hurt over time. I need everyone to give me an instinct check as this begins to try to compress your memory brain-ish functions.
Well said.
Yep.
What check was
that's
that
a-
again?
Instinct.
That's a 9 for Atlas.
9 for Atlas. Ooh, 4 for Robbie Clark, 4 for
Let's go.
Copycat, 9 for Atlas.
Ooh.
We are true champions.
As
Under this pulsing sound, it gets more intense. You feel it in your headspace as you collapse, all three of you not rolling high enough. You are going to get a permanent damage as now you have to survive with this ongoing migraine. While the ground has now laid still, you feel those beating pulses in your head, between your eyes, just constantly going. It is unrelenting.
this is a permanent status effect. When we find ourselves in combat, you will take a point of damage every round unless you use a heroic surge to clear it. Starting with 1 point of damage right now. I should make that clear.
Oh, great. That's wonderful.
You're welcome.
This is like those things they put in front of the ice cream stand when they don't want me and my friends to hang out there anymore that old people can't hear.
Can we clear that condition now, or do we have to wait for combat to do it?
If you choose to use your heroic surge, yes, you can clear it now. The health won't start ticking until we're in rounded combat.
Oh, okay, cool. Then yeah, I'll do it later. It's all good.
All right.
So 1 point of damage as you begin to feel that pulsating sound. Your migraine worsens, but it doesn't necessarily deter you. You are able to continue walking forward should you desire to do so. Or there's the other pathway.
I say we continue.
I mean, we're already here,
Atlas
so we might
agrees.
as well.
You hear a little.
What's the worst that could happen?
You hear a little sound from your walkie-talkies, and it's Thea on the other side. Hi, do you guys have any updates yet? Because we're really worried about you guys, and it's also supposed to make sure that you really do a show that you're good for this, because I kind of like you guys, and I'd like you to come back, but if you do a really shitty job, or if you don't succeed, then we're gonna have to off you all. Not permanently, but then we just kind of put you back to, like, the B team, or the C team, or the D team.
Breaker, niner, alpha, breaker, copy.
Copy.
The Super Friends are en route. The mission so far has been a great success. We have slaughtered an ancient beast. We have turned into satellites, and we have learned the power of friendship. Copy, breaker.
Oh, good. You have to keep going. Remember, you want to make sure you put on a good show. Show your leadership skills. Take charge. Over. She remembers.
Give me that walkie-talkie. As the Arbiter steals the walkie-talkie from Thea. Can you make this a little bit more interesting? The acolytes are getting bored. And also, we're gonna take a break while you guys travel into the abyss here, and so you just keep walking, and we'll be back whenever we're back. Okay.
Breaker, niner, alpha, breaker. Over and out, heard and loud and clear. Also, do your brothers have the same name as you? Over.
No, stop.
No, at this point,
what are you talking about? I don't even have any brothers.
Disregard that last thing. Over.
So Atlas walks over to Robbie and will take Robbie's walkie from Copycat, and also the only thing he'll say is, "We are not the Super Friend Squad." And as he says that, he's going to look at Robbie, and he's going to crush his walkie-talkie and turn it to powder in his hands, and just keep this very long, uncomfortable stare.
Grandmaster, they crushed the walkie-talkie.
Great. Well, I guess we'll just use mind voice from here on out. You'll have to make sure that you grant Thea that capability.
But if I do that, then she's gonna be in everybody's head, and I'm gonna have to hear her all day long. Talk.
Listen, this is important. These three, I have a lot of hope for. They need to make sure that they can prove themselves, because this is just the first of many tests. And if they're not ready to go balls to the walls and bear their soul out and bleed for the void, then I don't want them on this team. Do you hear me?
I hear you.
And if they don't have balls, they can throw something else against the wall. That's fine.
Yeah, I think you should probably not talk about their balls. I think that's probably some sort of rule or something.
Listen, you got to be ready to throw anything against the wall. Bones, blood, balls, tits, I don't care. It all goes against everything as long as they're all in. You can't just say, like, I'm all in except for my balls. That's not a statement. No one just pulls those back separately.
Atlas has none of those things.
Okay, but I've I know from extensive research. Well, no, that sounds wrong. You can tuck them under.
Oh. Taping them like a big old. Yes.
Like a glove compartment. They just sort of go in and.
That's fair. All right,
Like a
you're
glove
allowed to
compartment?
glove compartment your balls. I'm gonna research what this means.
Love a compartment, my balls.
Yes.
No, you shouldn't be listening to this conversation.
Okay. Robbie turns around.
Arbiter, let's break here.
Yeah, I said that like 2 minutes ago. But you wanted Thea to talk to people, and now we've got ourselves in a
Arbiter.
situation because you keep talking about balls. What?
We're going to break.
Oh, break.
See you all soon.
Okay, see you.
Acolytes, do you love the amazing players we've had on the show week after week? Do you enjoy when chaos events reign supreme in the arena? Well, know that it's all thanks to your bits, tips, and subs. Your dollar increases our chaos bar and helps us pay the talented folks on our show. For those of you who have already given, thank you so much.
Today, young acolytes, we dive into the fascinating world of crabs. Here, we witness a sand crab in its natural habitat, inside your mom. Just a little humor. Though crabs are known to love deep, dark, cavernous holes. Crabs often use their feet to move around. These appendages are quite useful for walking and tap dancing. Unfortunately, they can only move sideways, but that does still allow them to follow Beyoncé's instructions to move to the left. Here, we see a crab on its back. What an idiot. Now this little crab is working hard, making a good day's pay to bring home to his family. Let's cheer him on. Go, little crab, go. We are so proud of you. May today's dive into crabs inspire you. How? I don't know. I'm not an expert on humans.
Almost gonna cast Sickening Radiance. It's a 30-foot radius sphere.
Dang, that's massive. That's what she said?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll allow it. Going to
you
allow it.
Here we observe the terrifying chinchillas. As they are unionized, they're quite dangerous. Their fluffy bodies hide many knives, and they're known to trample a champion or two. If you would like to tap into the ferociousness of these terrible monsters, check out our chinchilla shirt in our store.
Ooh. Nice dice, Dice Daddy. Good roll, Dice Daddy. That's it, Dice Daddy. Don't be shy. Get in there. Thanks, Dice Daddy. Dice Daddy.
Fire once again shoots into the sky.
No more eyebrows. Oh wait, you don't have any, do you?
He doesn't have a nose either.
A touchy subject. Okay.
All right.
All right, Voldemort.
Or ears for that matter.
There's your teeth, asshole.
Quit smiling with no teeth. It looks creepy.
Look like a lamprey.
Now I'm self-conscious about it. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I can see now.
Welcome to another episode of Did You Know? Beneath the tranquil landscape of peaceful backyards and gardens lurk the underground terrors of nature. The Gophers, ruthless masters of subterranean darkness. These pint-sized ferals are armed with sharp incisors meant to carve the earth itself to their desire. Evolving from the depths of hell, their lips seal behind their teeth, so they devour no dirt, no root, no life, unless they wish it. With eyes that gleam with mayhem and power, they relentlessly tunnel unseen labyrinths beneath our feet, crisscrossing the soil like scars on a battlefield. These relentless marauders of the underground are so dexterous that they can move forwards and backwards through their dark designs with ease. In the world of soil and shadow, these are the true monsters of the land. Now you know.
Name that monster! It's a draft.
In a world where aliens travel the universe to visit New Hampshire? Yeah. New Hampshire.
Welcome back, acolytes, to the D20 Deathmatch Arena. That's right, I just took over. I wasn't supposed to welcome us back, but I decided I'm just going to be loud and in charge, and that's why I'm the Grandmaster, suckers.
It's your arena. You do what you want.
That's right. That's right. So here we are. Arbiter, I'm very concerned as she stands over a new kind of TV that is showcasing the following actions of all of our champions. Kind of a bit like Survivor, where there's all these cameras all around, so that way we can see what they're doing, tuning in. You know, I think there's potential here, but I need them to go further if they really want to make the Team A standards.
I mean, don't worry. We've only scratched the surface here. I've got some things planned.
What do you mean scratch the surface? They're literally under the surface of the planet. They should be deep into this at this point.
Can we not do this tonight? Does this happen?
We don't do figures of speech. We are very direct people here in the void, obviously.
They literally will be in danger of losing their lives very soon. How's that?
That is what I need. Yes, I need them to prove themselves. And even if they die, we'll bring them back, but I want them to be willing to go that far. That's important to me.
Well, it shouldn't be a problem. I really think they're all going to die. I mean, I don't want to toot my own horn, but I think I've really kind of done something special here. I mean, to be honest with you, like I'm already inside of their heads. Copycat thinks she stole my wallet, but that was a fake.
Right. Well, apparently you also are a triplet, so congratulations on that.
That's just what I
Maybe
wanted
I should
her to
ask
think.
them for your job because you're doing a terrible job at
What are you
this.
talking about? I
Do they have
orchestrated all of
resumes out?
this.
Well, it's off to a rocky start.
We'll
see where it goes.
You'll see. You
Fine.
just
Well, then
wait.
get it started then.
Very well. As the Arbiter comes over, it's magical in your heads, but it still goes. Can you guys hear me in there?
Breaker,
Affirmative.
niner. Yeah.
Are you just like holding your
Dealing
hand
with
now
some
since your walkie-talkie?
I know you can hear me. I know how.
Hailstorm in here.
Is this how your brain
Oh
always
my-
thinks?
Anyway, have you guys found the mineral yet? I really need it. It's very important to our fight against the Shadow King. Time is of the essence here. So, have you found it? Are you close? What are you doing? What have you guys been doing in the interim?
Our recovery
as we
of
went
the
to break?
mineral is imminent.
That's what they told
Sorry,
me
we're
last time.
signing you up for spam mail.
I love spam mail. I don't get enough email. Thank you.
As the
I accept your gift. Can I give them a gift?
Thea looks over at the Arbiter.
oh, what did you have in mind?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't think that far.
You know what? I'm
Let
curious
me
now.
think upon it. In their time of dire need, maybe I can give something really great. How about that? Yeah.
You know what you should give them?
No. That's why I said I didn't know. Did you not listen to me?
How about what if you gave them a chaotic event?
I love doing that. I would love. Yes, please. Let me
Go
do
ahead,
that.
but make it something good because the Grandmaster is down my throat, and if she's yelling at me, then I'm gonna be yelling at you.
Yeah, absolutely. I will do this for you.
And she goes into her fake walkie-talkie as well. Apparently her and Robbie are like on the same wavelength with this.
I know that you're down in the deep caves, and it's a really lovely place. It's kind of cozy, and you could even call it home, but it's not your home, so I'm going to be sending you a gift to help move you along so that way you don't get too cozy. Be prepared.
And I need...
Is it the Arbiter's social security number?
Oh, I don't know that because I can't remember more than 2 numbers at once.
So, as you've said, this Atlas's memory banks that have been corrupted over as many times, like in the Dread Fortress, suddenly fires up, and he watches his tracks go just a tiny bit faster as he's like, come on, as he's trying to get the hell away from everyone.
You know what? Let's see if you can get a head start before anything arrives. Would that be metal, Mudcat?
Yeah, DC 15 metal save on the chaotic event. We gotta
Let's see
figure
if
what
we
it
can
is.
outrun everyone else.
What?
I'm gonna change out my tracks and put on wheels.
Atlas, you regain 1 fighting spirit. You also gain a second
That's
adrenaline.
a dirty 20, not a natural.
Oh, a dirty 20, not a natural 20.
That's embarrassing.
That's
We're
embarrassing
still
for
going to give
me.
you the
Wow.
punishment for that.
Never mind. Okay. Never mind. Whatever.
It's fine.
Uh,
But you do still succeed, technically.
Yeah, I could have completely, and not said anything, but
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna change my tracks to like kind of like the track, the tire tracks on like a mining cart, and I'm
Yes.
gonna use like these tiny little prongs to like lay down like actual train tracks in front of me, so Atlas
Okay.
just starts to slide.
As you begin to slide through the rubble and dirt, since you have rolled well on this, leaving the 2 behind, you are going to have advantage when it comes to the chaos your way. You know what? Let's give this to Copycat. Go ahead and roll and see what our chaotic event is going to be.
Flat D20. Ooh, an 8.
8.
An 8. Of course. Yes. With an 8, suddenly you hear a whirring sound begin to echo through this cavernous tunnel. It begins to get closer and louder till suddenly you see this little mediocre silver saucer be able to follow through, catching up to you all. It tries with its tractor beam to capture each of you as 3 beams, boom, 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 shoot out. I need you all to roll to not get pulled in this alien abduction.
DC 15 metal save, advantage for Atlas. Robbie with an 8. Atlas with a 13 with advantage. Copycat with a 4.
As the aliens pull who failed? Everyone failed?
Everyone failed.
Everyone failed. You each get sucked in, and as these aliens probe, they try to find your greatest fears. As they dig deep, metallic scalpels reach in, cutting into your metal and flesh. Yes. As they open you up, trying to get into your memory storage, digging deep to that which
that
gives
port
you
is not
the
accessible.
Robbie, what is your greatest fear? What do the aliens find as they dig deep into your and the hunger's mind?
Deep down, I suppose we know that there will come a time where all the stars will fade and there will be no more light left to consume, and all that will be there is us for eternity.
Terrifying, so much so that the aliens immediately take a step back and release you, the first to make it back from this alien spaceship. You have shook them and now given them their own nightmares. Well done. Copycat, you are next. As they begin to probe, now more gather around since releasing Robbie Clark and the hunger. What fears are released?
Stuart, the mic.
They find nothing.
Nothing. As the
Stuart.
aliens keep digging deeper. Nothing! There has to be something in here! As they begin to dig.
No, that's exactly it. They find absolutely nothing.
Where is she?
Which is the most terrifying thing of all.
What is she? They're angry and upset and terrified. What being doesn't have fear? As they probe deeper trying to find it, you do take a little bit of damage, especially since you rolled that 4. 1 point of damage as they dug so deep trying to find your fear, not believing that it's possible before they finally release you.
It's a little. That's my kidney.
Atlas, the final one remaining. They plug into one of your open USB ports and they begin to search and try to hack your systems to find, does this being have fear?
Oh, yeah. And what they see is a strange perception, more of a concept. It begins with a screen digitized with 1s and 0s, eventually taking the form of an electric sheep. If they kind of like leant backwards a little bit, they can kind of see it in the code. As it does so, it posits a question. What if, when the power is off, you were still conscious? What if your consciousness, devoid of feeling, your sight, your sounds, your sense of touch all faded from you, and you floated in an endless black abyss? This darkness where sense is beyond it, but you are left with your thoughts and your imaginations hanging by tethers, wondering, positing a question. Will it ever be turned back on? Or would you remain forever in this state of senselessness but awareness, where you are aware of your presence and your existence, where time itself slips through fabric and eventually drips away? How much of you erodes as this water cascades over the rocky crevices of your mind before
and they
finally
rip
that
the
day?
USB plug out immediately as they turn to each other. Is this the future of AI? No! And they shove you out very forcefully. No! And they flip your on switch on back before you bounce out.
Updating 1%.
For all three of you. So Copycat, you took an extra damage because you had the 4. All three of you will take an additional point of damage. 1 from that. And then you're going to take 1 more across the board because of the psychic damage we had earlier from the pulsating migraine. But you find yourselves alone once again in this tunnel. A chance for you to explore, gather yourself as the three of you now huddled on the floor, collapsed from being just abandoned from this alien spaceship. What do you want to do?
I say we keep going. Right? We go toward the big noise that hurts us, and then we kill it and find the crystal.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. As she's holding her side. Man, they probed me pretty bad.
Do you need a band-aid?
No, I should be fine. As she lifts up her hand, as she has put a lot of duct tape over the trash bag area where she's holding. Even though she knows very well that they were probing her brain.
Here, there, wherever. It's fine. Now, as an action, any of you can try to heal one another if you'd like. Or if you don't, that's fine too, because who cares, right? At the end of the day, death isn't permanent.
We didn't heal ourselves from the other thing, right? That it was...
That takes a point of pulsating. The permanent status effect.
Yeah, you'd have to use a heroic surge to clear that. I want you all to roll me an instinct save.
Oh, no. Okay.
12.
Ooh.
A dirty 20.
12 for Atlas, 5 for Cat, dirty 20 for Robbie Clark and Hunger.
Oh,
Robbie,
no.
as you all sit here and think, and the aliens have definitely done something to you, because now your senses are just a little bit heightened as well. Maybe it's the pounding headache. You start to notice a faint white glowing light coming from down the mine shaft. It's very, very small and faint, but you start to be able to see it kind of within walking distance, as you start to notice this faint light that's beginning to kind of glow, and you hear a small hum from down the mine shaft. What do you do?
Say.
That way?
Do you go?
I think
yep.
we go.
I'm going to. I would like to use an action to heal myself,
You can.
but only myself.
You can attempt to use an action now, if you want, because we're getting close. So go ahead and use an action if you want. DC 12,
Okay.
metal save to be successful on that.
Okay.
Woo!
Okay, you do
Nice.
successfully heal yourself for.
Describe to us how you do that, though.
She looks at her, begrudgingly, set up partners in crime, and looks at which one is in better shape than her, and sits there and thinks a little bit.
You would notice that Robbie Clark and the Hunger is the best looking one of the three of you right now.
Then she will squint and look closely, and then she will go and open one of your eyeballs. And then
A
she will
third or fourth one just kind of pops open too.
Oh wow, that's very. And then she does it to the other one. And then
I can just keep doing this.
and then she goes and she takes her finger and puts it up your nose.
Oh,
And then she takes it out. I see. And then she twirls around and she turns herself to look exactly like him.
now
Without
we
the
have
backpack.
twins. Oh, no backpack. You don't want to have hunger?
I see no reason to have a continuous hunger. It would kind of get in the way of, faking people's identity. But
We
maybe
all
that's
must
what
want-
I'm really hungry for.
Hmm.
And she like looks up. That's what I'm hungry for.
As you stare at the ceiling of the mine shaft.
She wraps her arm around him, pulls him in closer. Do you see it?
Show me.
Look, right there. No. That's a stalactite. No, over there.
Couple tentacle eyes appear too, also trying to squint and see.
That there.
Yes.
That
Yes.
is what I hunger for. No, not the bat there. No, it's a little bit more to the right. You see it? You'll have to
It's a
squint.
bit-
Maybe you could probably see it if you're like in my spot right now. But I mean, I can see it clearly. Like so, but it's like right over there. You know, maybe close one or 5 of your eyes. You know, and then see if you can you focus on it better. Yeah, right there.
I'm focusing.
That is what I am hungry for.
Huh.
All right, let's keep moving.
Marking your way down these mines, it gets deeper and colder and damper for those of you who can feel dampness in this space. It continues.
Stuart!
Oh, is my audio funny?
Stuart! God damn it, Stuart. Listen.
Are we better?
Yes.
Yes. All right. As you continue further down, marching down these mines, understanding what pulls you forward, you must find this crystal. It's colder and damper and darker as you find your way, almost having to use your hands against the walls to continue to find a pathway forward. As you stumble through that darkness, you suddenly begin to hear something. Low rumble. Something gets louder as you head closer still, knowing that this has to be the right pathway. There's no other pathway that you could have gone. Blood cat. Well, I fixed my audio. Take over.
As you find yourself moving down this pathway, you find yourself in a crystalline structure in this almost like the inside of a geode deep within these caves. And in the middle of these geodes is a chunk of mineral, of stone, of crystal that is a white, and it's glowing and kind of humming, very different than the rest of the surrounding orange rock. You notice this crystal. It's a really large chunk, kind of stuck partly in the ground here. What do you do?
I think this is the crystal, right? These icy crystal. We're supposed to be crystal. How do we know if it's the right crystal? Do you, Atlas? Do you have like a scanner, copycat? Do you have like a geologist in there?
As you look at Atlas's eyes have still glazed over. This whole time he's kind of just been sort of coasting forward, like on those wheels, and it says update at 78%. Because he made the mistake. They turned him off and on again, so now he has to do his update. Otherwise,
Windows, dang it.
Oh, and it says
What
do
do I
not
look
reset.
like? Do I look like a Geiger counter to you?
You were a satellite like an hour ago.
Yes, a satellite to identify people and their identities. It's quite different, really.
It's true. It is. You hear in your mind as Thea begins to mind speak to you all.
It's not the same thing.
It's not.
You can't tell because I'm only speaking, but I'm shaking my head. It isn't.
What do you guys do with the crystal?
Do we have to test it to make sure it's like the real thing? I see that punch there, and you know what? Wait, maybe that would work. Maybe we could test it that way. Go ahead.
I'm gonna punch it.
Yes, and
Roll.
as you begin to reel your arm back, you notice almost a sudden illumination in the room. Heck, even millions of little cameras and visuals appear as you can tell now that the acolytes are tuning in, very keen to watch what they do. They even begin to shout as if the sounds from their audience stands are reaching out to you. Go beast mode, they yell. It's updating still. Go faster on the update.
Roll the attack. Roll it to hit. Let's see how hard you hit.
Okay.
All right.
I used the fury of 1,000 regular 8-year-old punches. I
All
roll
right.
a 12.
With a 12, you start laying into this crystal, and pieces start chipping off. It's very like flaky almost, but it's glowing and hums. But as you start kind of pounding into this, and the sounds of your fists kind of reverberate off of this, the other two of you, roll me an instinct check real quick. 18.
6.
18 to 6. Kat, you notice that just behind Robbie, or off to the side from another entrance to this cavern, 3 blue glowing lights light up. And those lights, as they move forward, attach to giant stalks. And as the stalks move their way forward into the light of this room, and the ground begins to rumble and shake, and you hear, "Ow!" That's right, Teresa is back. As Teresa bursts back into the room, giant hole in her head, 3 glowing blue eye stalks now staring one at each of you as the
Back, bitches!
I need all of you to roll me a flat D20 for initiative. Natural 1!
I'm still updating. Leave me alone.
All right, so this will be Cinder, then Teresa, then Kat, and then finally Atlas. Atlas, you will take 1 point of damage as your system is noticing a little bit of corruption as you're trying to reboot it.
It's like those updates you do just when the update launches before they've done any like bug tests and stuff like that, and it's just cranked all my systems for no reason.
Yeah,
Yep.
and you have as your CPU is max, you also now have 2 points of fatigue on you. You all have a permanent status effect as this combat begins. If you do not clear it using a heroic surge, if you don't use your heroic surge, then at the end of each of your turn, you will take 1 point of damage.
And that's on top of the current.
If you're hit on top of that,
That's
yes.
this is from earlier. I'm just reminding you.
Oh, okay. I just
from
wanted to
earlier.
clarify.
Not
Yeah.
a new, but as you all begin to feel Teresa staring you down, you feel a little funny. You do notice you have a weird sensation as this blue glowing light from these eyes shine one on each of you. Cinder, you are up first.
I have a question,
Mhm.
dear Game Masters. Do we have access to our character's special powers?
Your signature move.
Yes.
You do technically have access to your signature move. I gotta remember what that one is.
I remember what it is.
What is it? Tell us.
I'm the one that needs to use it, so don't even worry about it. I'm gonna grab my imaginary walkie-talkie. I'm gonna go, "Hello, little goblin. Update. The worm I killed, I'm about to kill it again."
Yeah, Teresa.
I'm gonna use my first bit of my turn to act hero surge and close the status effect.
Okay,
And-
using your heroic surge.
Oh yeah, using my heroic surge. And then I am going to activate my signature move as the true unity between Robbie Clark and the Hunger manifests as boy and infinite flesh become one as a giant crack splits down the form of Robbie and these big teeth and eyes sort of as his form kind of splits in two. He's still Robbie Clark. He's just now all covered in teeth and eyes and stuff. And my instinct goes up. And then I will use my last special thing to and try to give a big body bite on the worm's head.
Okay, so you're going in for a normal attack here.
A normal attack.
All right, do it.
Roll.
Worm will roll defense.
I rolled twice by accident. No, I didn't. I rolled 21.
You're good. The worm rolls a 12 for defense. It is going to hit.
Yes.
All right, you connect. That is all of your actions. The worm's turn as it looks at you, Robbie Clark.
I will take your teeth and then I will have teeth.
As Teresa notably does not have teeth.
Robbie Clark, it's going to use its first action, and it's going to come at you with a power up.
Oh, no.
Need you to roll your defense. It's a 15 on the attack.
That is a 14.
14 on the defense, Robbie. That is going to hit you for 3 points of damage as that comes in.
It's gonna knock some of those teeth loose, and you see quickly that Teresa's sluggish body rolls over it, and they stick within her and then become absorbed inside her flesh.
Thank you for your offering.
Atlas, looking at you as well, this worm now, because remembering that you launched it forward in your metal fist before, it is actually going to come at you as well with a status effect as this worm starts to spew toxic orange double sun cola bile on you. Super acidic. Gonna be attacking with the status effect. And that'll be 15 to hit.
Is that more slobbery?
All right.
So, as he basically throws this double sun cola out onto the out into Atlas, it coats his body. But being made of metal, it kind of just like sort of cleans the metal from him and soaks into his body. And as it happens, you watch as the update goes from like 79%, 80%. As I start to soak up the energy and pump the energy into the update, I'm now back at 98%.
All right, and it is also going to take. It's also going to take a regular attack here at Cat as well. It's actually going to just kind of lurch forward and try to slam you against the wall.
Give me that bag.
17 to hit against Cat. Dirty 20. What does it look like as you get out of the way?
You can't take this bag. And she hip thrusts and dodges the attack.
No! What will I use to carry my groceries?
Besides, I'm not the one you want to hurt.
Huh? Who? Name them!
As Teresa begins thrashing wildly.
Kat, this is now your turn, so if you want this to be some attack, you can do
Perfect. She would like to actually... She would like to use her, instead of actually attacking, she would like to use her attack to transform herself into Timothy!
All right.
You would!
Psychological damage.
She goes, you wouldn't want to hit your other... And then she's like, sibling!
Roll to it.
Timothy!
Roll to attack.
My man! The beloved Timothy!
14 to attack. Natural 1 for Teresa. She's going to lose 1 point of fighting spirits on that, and then also she will gain a fatigue.
Oh my god!
And she'll take another point for your for the actual hit.
Heartache! I'm sorry, Timothy!
As that
It's
one
okay, sister!
bows
I
down
forgive
to
you!
Kat, you still have 2 actions. What do you want to do?
as Mayor Timothy. Go ahead.
She will then take an action to move in front of her 2 reluctant comrades and say, Sister, why have you turned out this way? Why are you attacking them? She's going to attempt to dissuade you.
When when we lost you. The empire you built was destroyed. The Hollow just turned to ashes. We thought with you, all our dreams disappeared.
My dearest sister, I am still here! Can't you see? This is not the way. Not the way that I would want my legacy to continue.
Ooh, roll. Let's see your roll for that. Mud Cat, what do you think? Instinct for this one?
Yeah.
Let's see how persuasive you are.
Hold on.
That is a 6.
6.
A 6.
Hold on. I'm trying to find this.
Ooh, with a 13, Teresa counters.
What do you mean? This is exactly what you wanted us to do. You left a whole book that said, in case of my death, here's exactly what you're supposed to do. And we followed the rules 1 through 18. We didn't get all the way to 20 because we haven't gotten there yet. But we did 1 through 18 exactly as you instructed.
She snaps back angry and now a little skeptical because she knew that Mayor Timothy was very detailed in his note-taking and did leave very clear plans should his legacy end.
Dear sister, I seem to have suffered from a bit of brain fog. Would you like to remind me of what number 19 and 20 are? Of these steps that I completely, totally wrote and left for you.
Of course! But to confirm, you do know the password, right? Because you said in step 2 that we're not allowed to do anything unless the people confirm that they've got the password. Do you remember the password of the worms?
Well, if I made the password, it would have to be my name with like 20-ish exclamation points. Because that's just how we do it.
It is you!
As you impressively remember a small piece of lore that we dropped at the beginning. I'm actually impressed. Do players take notes? Why? What is this?
All right, you say use an action for that, trying to convince this worm. You have a third action. You wouldn't do anything with it? Right now, that second action, because it's more of a defensive thing, is going to impose disadvantage on anything she does in her first attack. So you have a third action if you want to use it.
I will attempt to dissuade her again.
Okay. Yeah, you can double down on it.
Yeah,
We'll just
make her feel bad.
We'll wrap
For
that
each
all
time
in.
that you've succeeded, she will take a point of damage from that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I will. Ooh.
16.
16 versus 12. Okay. All right. Got it. All right. So the worm is feeling a little bit dissuaded here. Going to have disadvantage on its next 2 attacks. And it's going to be going over to Atlas. Your turn if you're done rebooting.
Oh yeah, Atlas is done rebooting. As in front of him, Copycat in the form of Mayor Timothy is kind of talking to the giant worm. From behind, you will watch as basically Atlas's booting system is now finished, and he sort of rises to his feet. But then as he does so, his abs suddenly eject outwards of his body with these 2 struts that kind of force them forward. His body lurches downwards as his knuckles hit the ground, almost like a gorilla. His back then transforms as his head rotates down into the center of his chest, and out of his back where his shoulders are, they separate out. And you hear this whirring sound as this large cannon suddenly pulls out from the base of his spine, charged by these silos filled with this double sun cola that is bubbling and broiling. And through Atlas's voice, update complete. Emotional vulnerability detected. Have a nice fucking day. And I'm going to fire a blast of my double sun cola beam using my my special power, unstoppable force, and I'm going to use both my power-ups on it and sacrifice 10 of my own hit points to enhance this blast.
Atlas, as you try to use your power-ups, the light of these blue eyes shining upon you, you cannot use the power-up right now.
Ooh, okay.
You can attack normally with your
I'll still that'll be fine. So I'll still use it without the power up, but they'll just be like this, the double sun colas trying to like siphon into the cannon, but the update has ruined my intake valves, like my actual intake management programming, so it just doesn't give me that extra juice that I need. But that's fine. It's still a big old cannon.
You're still sacrificing 10 of your health.
Yes, correct.
Okay. For one hit, or are you going to do multiple hits here?
I'll do them over. No, I'll do it on one hit.
Okay. All right. So one hit. Roll a hit with your plus. What's that going to be? Plus 11.
Yeah, it's plus 11.
Yeah. Roll a hit.
All right. Here we go. Oh, that's a 16.
16 versus an 18.
Damn.
As that fist flies, Teresa moves, and it goes right through the hole in her head.
Oh.
From that spear.
From the spear earlier.
All right. With my second action, I'm going to use my heroic surge to remove my status effects.
Okay.
And with my final action, I would like to try and heal as I basically eject these two searing hot canisters onto either side of me as the gun retreats back into his back. But there's this moment where, again, the update has messed around with my my mechanisms, so the gun doesn't quite go away, and it's like stuck. It's just jamming over and over again as I'm trying to, return back into Atlas in full form.
Roll a metal save to see if you're able to heal here. Oh yeah.
All right, that is a dirty 20.
You regain 1 fighting spirit here as you kind of recompose yourself.
Sweet. All right, done.
All right, that is the end of the first round. We'll be going back to.
Wait, before we go kick off, I hear from the audience. I hear from the acolytes. They want more. We're cheering for you.
We're sending the reinforcements! And suddenly, cracking through the ceiling above, you see whoosh, a burst of fiery flames, pink and yellow, as the box of chaos smashes in. I give it my all! As a small little piece of Kia's soul is ripped out from her and thrown inside of this box. And you see a small little, even tinier impish hand reach out. If you want anything, you let me know. I'm sorry, Arbiter. I tried to do the typical.
That's okay. Not everyone can whisper sexily.
No, I wouldn't. I was gonna give it like a dark smoker voice, but sure.
Yeah, what the fuck do you want? As the box of gas slams down on the field of battle, you can sacrifice an action to it in order to gain a magical item. All right, Cinder, start of the round, your turn.
Those glowing orbs. I have seen something similar in Crash Bandicoot, and I had to smash them in order for me to regain my spin power. And then I see Atlas's giant gauntlets radiating this electromagnetic energy, and Copycat's like whimsical, crazy psychological transmutation warfare. It's like, I shall empower them. And I'm going to use my first 2 actions, and I'm going to try to smash 2 of the orbs.
Okay, going directly for the orbs. Go ahead, roll to hit.
As I launch a bunch of toothy tendrils.
All right.
First one is a 5.
Let's counter that.
5 versus a 10. First one's gonna miss.
Ouch. Second one. A 14.
14 versus a 7. It's gonna hit. The second orb whoosh, is the one that was well, roll me a Which orb? Which order were you shooting at them at? In
The ones over them.
the ones over
The
them.
first one. We'll say the first one was for Atlas. The second one was for Copycat.
Okay, so Copycat, the orb in front of you, the eyeball bursts, and you feel that strange, enfeebling feeling go away. You can now use your power-ups, your status effects, all of those. You now have access to them. You are no longer enfeebled by this giant worm, Teresa. Teresa will also take a point of damage from the hit.
And then I'm going to. You listen. You better. You are crazy. What are you doing here? You could have
have
just
to protect
went out and
Crystal.
lived your life.
No, the crystal is sacred. I must protect it at all costs.
Well, listen. Take it from one infinite being masquerading as an 8-year-old to a very minuscule being masquerading as a giant worm. Sacred is really a perspective thing. People come and go. Sacred changes. So, if you take a step back, everything kind of is just dust. So you should just do what you want. But, I really want treasure. But you know what? I want to see Atlas punch something so hard that it explodes. And that would be you, by the way. So I'm going to try to, with my last action, to smash the crystal over Atlas again.
Bring it on!
Going for the third eyeball.
Not the third one. I don't care if the one on me. I'm hitting the one on Atlas.
Yeah, the one on Atlas, yeah.
Yeah.
I got you. Dirty 20 versus a 6. It is gonna hit. Atlas, you too feel the enfeeblement that was kind of surrounding your body, the interference fade. You can now also use your power-up status effects, etc.
And then I'm going to look at Teresa, and one of the tendrils is going to say, "And when you die, we shall consume you." Yeah, and it's going to taste great.
All right.
That's my turn.
Robbie, Teresa, eyeballs. Yeah! That was terrible. Whatever. Now exploding. Thank you. Is going to be furious with you and is going to attack you 3 times. First one with a power up. 21 to hit. That is going to be 3 points of damage to you. Second one coming in with another power
my
up.
favorite eyeball.
That is 12 to hit. A 4 to defend. 3 more points of damage.
Ow, my second favorite eyeball.
And then she is going to try to spew bile all over you as well with a status effect. Natural 1!
Oh!
Teresa takes a second point of fatigue, takes a point of damage as she starts to spit and bile. She starts to spray it everywhere. It starts to erode and corrode the geodes from the top of the mine cave, and some fall on her and damage her. So, all right. It is now Copycat's turn.
She will kind of wiggle a little bit. Ooh. I think I've got the wind bumps. I don't know what that was. Sister! Lend me your ear. This crystal. What if... Now I had a crazy idea, but maybe... No. But maybe... we take it with us. And deposit it somewhere else. Her action is to persuade.
Roll to persuade. Let's see how effective.
And I forgot the disadvantage on the attacks, so I'm going to give her disadvantage here.
Sorry, Cinder.
For what?
She's supposed to have disadvantage on all her attacks.
All right, with a and actually I'm gonna give her double disadvantage because you did 2 different disadvantages. So 10 with a tie. Ooh, that's tough. With a tie, you're both gonna take a point of fatigue.
Debate is exhausting.
Debate is exhausting.
Yes.
That was your first, right? Your first attempt. You can try again if you want.
Yeah, she's gonna try again.
Okay, roll another.
I'm not convinced just yet. I kind of like this crystal here. I don't want to deposit it anywhere else.
Listen, Teresa, listen.
All right, roll an attack as you try to convince her. Dirty 20. Still not convincing enough. You do have another action.
I will wrap my dead body around this before you'll have it.
As she does now begin to use her worm body, and it elongates, creating a nice coverage all around this crystal.
All right, you have one more action. Yeah.
My last attempt will be to tell her to get off of it, basically.
See if you can.
Teresa! Stop this at once! Don't make me tell mother or father what you did on the summer solstice 25 centuries ago!
All right, roll it.
Let's see.
Natural 1! You take another fatigue.
What about what you did on the solstice? Should I remind you?
As she throws back the embarrassing memory that you don't actually have, but know that you might be caught in this moment. Go ahead and take a damage for secondhand embarrassment there.
Yeah, you take a point of damage, you take a fatigue, and it is Atlas's turn.
I don't even want to be reminded. It's probably extremely embarrassing now that I think about it. Almost crippling, even.
Very much so.
All right.
I've never been able to eat frozen yogurt the same.
Atlas is going to try and heal twice.
Okay.
To begin.
First one's successful.
All right.
You hear Thea crackle in.
Just kill it already! We need the crystal! But be gentle and kind and then bury the body out of respect afterwards. Thank you, bye.
So, my first attempt, the kind of whirring gears weren't quite working. The second attempt, Atlas managed to regain one fighting spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Atlas, looking around, immediately, decides that this is it. This is the point that separates the robots from the meat sacks. And I'm going to have Atlas basically launch both of his magnetic fists up into the air to grab a stalactite from above where Teresa happens to be. And where his fingers are, they sort of dig and claw in. And he begins to start like a clockwise rotation as he cuts into the stalactite. You then watch as these two fists dislodge the stalactite and place it down behind where Teresa is, so that Teresa is now between the stalactite and where Atlas is. Atlas then starts to run with no arms as he's barrels forward. Again, his whole body lurching till his entire shoulder and mass looks like a quarterback as he is, or a blocker as he runs into charge. And then suddenly you watch as these two fists launch into the air and dock back over Teresa, back towards Atlas, past Atlas, then veer back around to grab him from behind as these rockets blast. And I'm going to power up, use both my power-ups on this attack.
Okay.
As one rocket launches, the second rocket launches, and I'm going to make this single attack. And if I can, I'm going to use my remaining hit points.
Okay. Do it.
On my unstoppable force.
Sacrificing all of your health.
Yep.
Okay.
Whoa. You don't even want to just leave one left?
I think this is the moment. I think this is Atlas. Atlas's moment of the mission comes first.
All right.
All right. So I had a additional 4 points remaining after that.
You have 5 actually because you healed yourself.
Oh yes, because I healed myself, so 5. So I had an additional 5 hit points left.
So 22 to hit. Is that
right?
Oh wait,
18. So that'd be 18 to hit.
18 to hit. All right. Defense coming in.
Oh damn!
It's a dirty 20.
Thea screams in your ear, "Don't give up!" as she yells profusely, "I sent in reinforcements and none of you use it! All the acolytes made sure you had it!" She swoops back that box of chaos, bundles it into... No! She'll bundle it into a small ball of energy, and you'll see an ethereal paw of hers, this impish claw that shoves it down into your body. Yo, roll again or else! Somebody better make good use of this energy! As you'll now have a second chance to roll off at Thea and the Acolyte's displeasure of you missing on this epic hit.
Okay.
Box of chaos. Let's go.
That is a 9. That was a 19 on the dice.
Okay.
I don't know where it went.
It was a dirty 20 plus. It was only plus 1, so that would be
plus
8
the
more.
extra 5. So yeah, so that's a dirty 20, 25.
25.
The reroll.
The only way Teresa can beat this is with a nat 20.
Well, I mean,
I guess, she does have a 30. It's
8.
Unsuccessful. Yes!
So with the power box that hits in, the double sun cola that normally fuels Atlas is replaced with this yellow, pink fire and blue energy from the impish energies that flow into him. And as he turns into like this ball of metal and energy and fire, he collides into Teresa, into the crystal, into the stalactite behind, as that just shatters in this cacophony of just debris, fire, and entrails. And as like all of this like stuff is lying around Teresa, Atlas's head sort of rolls forward, and in one of his eyes it says "Have a," and then in the other one says "Nice day," and the head will explode.
As that explosion takes place, fiery flames, sure, we're gonna go with that description. Fiery flames burst from your head, and as it turns out, Teresa is incredibly flammable as she catches fire, screeching as her body begins to shrivel up, turning into a dried husk before crumpling into ashes around the bottom of this crystal. And before you now, an empty field and a giant purple portal opens, and the Arbiter and Grandmaster walk through. Well, I guess they did it, didn't they?
Oh, this is perfect. Job well done as the Arbiter and Thea. This way, motions Thea to pick the crystal up and put it in a giant apparatus. If you could just give that a twist for me.
Yeah, twist.
And out of that, crystal drops a bunch of salt onto the Arbiter's fries as he begins to just snack in front of you.
You guys did a good job.
No,
Yeah.
you did. As she picks up, particularly Atlas's now partially exploded head at this moment. The three of you proved... She throws his head up and catches it in her hand. Very effective. A bit unorthodox in your methods, but important. You have seasoned the Arbiter's fries very well, empowering him for another battle to come. But
Very
I don't
good.
want you to take this lightly. Or is it? A favorite story of mine, also from outer space, said, "Every game contains a lesson. It doesn't matter if the stakes are a trophy, like these salted fries, or all our lives. Victory comes to those who best understand themselves, and I feel like I understand the three of you a lot more," as she closes Atlas's jaw, starting to piece him back together. The three of you are interesting. I think the void has a place for you. As she claps her hands together, and you find yourself back at the Dread Fortress. I ask that the three of you return, But out of every team that we have, Super Friends, Redacted, Unbreakable, there needs to be a leader. So, I hope that all three of you will return for a death match next week to truly show us how balls to the walls you really can be. As she winks, looks at the three of you, and then back up to the acolytes. Welcome and good night to D20 Deathmatch!